What if I told you that most people make boot camp 10 times harder for themselves than it really needs to be? Some people show up prepared, others show up missing paperwork, overweight, and assuming that boot camp will get them where they need to be. In this video, I'm going to cover 11 different things that you need to make sure you do before shipping to boot camp if you want to succeed. The first one is to become less fat or weak. And this is not fat shaming, although it kind of is fat shaming. And if that offends you, maybe don't join the military. That said, look, I am not in the shape that I would need to be in to go to recruit training today. Every branch of service has their own requirements for push-ups, pull-ups, crunches, run time, height, weight, etc. in order for you to physically be ready to go to recruit training. And yet people try to do the bare freaking minimum and think, oh, okay, it doesn't matter. Once I get to boot camp, I can change my entire life. That is akin to thinking if I make a ton of money, I can then learn how to budget, which is why people who win the lottery lose it all, right? So you should prepare yourself. The better shape you're in when you go to boot camp, the less you're going to worry about physically, the less tired you're going to be, which means the more energy you have to put into the mental side, which is actually the hardest part at recruit training. So you should be running. You should be getting used to time spent on your legs. You should be doing, whether it's push-ups, pull-ups, crunches for your branch of service, all of the above calisthenics. You should get in shape. The better shape you're in, the easier recruit training will be. So get less fat, less weak, whatever that means to you. Go talk to your recruiter about their specific standards to go to boot camp and where they recommend you be for it to be easy for you. Number 2 is get your freaking documents in place. You are going to need your original birth certificate, your original social security card, and a government-issued photo ID. Driver's license is probably the easiest. All valid, all ready to rock. If you're missing one of these things, you very well might not go to boot camp. Like if you're missing a birth cert, not going. If you're missing a social, not going. If your ID card expired, not going. If all 3 of the above, your recruiter failed you and you should probably still be pissed at yourself, but also at them. Look, you'd be amazed how many times I had to rush to try to get a driver's license or a birth certificate like the week before recruit training. You have to have it when you go to MEPS. Put it somewhere where you will not ever touch it or forget it again. And make sure you have it when you go to recruit training, because I'm telling y'all, no proper documentation, no going to boot campy. Number 3, and this is not a huge ordeal, but I would say get a haircut and shave. If you have facial hair, you're going to have to shave it, right? You have a luscious, beautiful beard like myself, it's got to go away. You have a mustache, got to go away. If you have like a freaking long-ass mullet, I would say just go ahead and cut it before you go. Now, not the end of the world because they're going to shave your head anyway, but it just makes your life easier if you don't stand out at any point in recruit training, even that first week. Now, it is the first week, so they're not your permanent drill instructors, so you will be okay. But why would you just intentionally give yourself a hard time? Also, if you're going to get a haircut, just a buzz cut or a traditional dude's haircut for the men. Don't go with a high and tight or a fade or a military haircut. Like, you haven't earned the title yet, and you don't want to look like it. For example, in the Marine Corps, the guys who show up with, like, let's say you show up with like an Eagle, Globe, and Anchor or like a Marine Corps tattoo, unless it's for like your father or grandfather who served in the Marine Corps, that's a really bad move because you haven't earned the title yet and you're going to get blasted for it. So like even then, I probably wouldn't tattoos or haircuts or anything that says I've made it prior to making it just asks for the magnifying glass to be on you. And that's just not what you want. Number 4, start memorizing basic knowledge. This is information. So in the Marine Corps, this might be your leadership traits like JJ did tie buckle. For reference, I'm going on 17 and a half years since I went to recruit training. And JJ did tie buckle is judgment, justice, decisiveness, initiative, dependability, tact, integrity, endurance, bearing, unselfishness, courage, knowledge, loyalty, and enthusiasm. You don't forget that stuff. You should know it before you go to recruit training. Or your general orders, right? Those things are beneficial. And every branch of service is going to have knowledge that they think you should know. So like basic rank structure stuff, basic information stuff, ask your recruiters. They can provide you that information. This is not a necessity. I will tell you, when I went to boot camp in 2008, I knew none of this. I had not studied knowledge at all. I had not paid any attention. I could not tell you the rank structure. I didn't even know there was a JJ did tie buckle. I was a schmuck. I signed up and joined and went like as soon as possible. Didn't do much. that was the hardest part for me in those first few weeks, was trying to like memorize everything while you're physically drained, hence the fitness being important. You're mentally exhausted, you're tired, and now you're trying to memorize stuff. So if you know the stuff ahead of time, or at least fundamental basics, it's just one less thing to stress about and worry about while at recruit training. So talk to your recruiters and say, hey, what information would be beneficial? Bare minimum, I would say, learn the rank structure for the branch of service you're joining, both enlisted, warrant, and officer side. Number 5 is get a list of addresses for people that you want to stay in touch with. Now, for those of you who were born after cell phones were created, boy, that makes me feel old. Addresses are these things that you use, and you use them with like an envelope, and then you put a letter in it and you write words on the letter, preferably something that you can read. I know you probably didn't learn cursive, so print is fine. Ideally, you're going to be able to write words on this thing and send it to people so that they can read the words and write the words back to you. And that's basically the only way that you're going to communicate with people at recruit training. And trust me when I say those letters and mail call will be like the most exciting part of recruit training for you in a lot of different evenings, because you're going to be just beat. And then someone's going to hand you a letter from your mom, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your best friend, whoever, that's like, oh, somebody cares about me. So like, if you have people in your life that you care about, get their address so you can send them letters, and then talk to them before you go to boot camp and say, hey, I know letters aren't necessarily the most common thing in the world, but that's going to be my only way to communicate. It would really mean a lot to you if I send you a letter, if you reply, or if you just write me letters, because it will help me go through this challenge, which is a challenge. Like, I'm going to be dealing with a lot of crap. So tell people ahead of time how much this means to you, send them letters. And then if you send letters to people and they don't write you once, like, I don't know, maybe that's the friend that you just don't talk to much after the military, because, if they can't write you a letter, like, I don't know what to tell you. So, like, I really hope that's not you. I knew guys at recruit training who, like, nobody wrote them, and that sucks. I know how hard that was for them. So I really hope that's not you. So get ahead of it. Get addresses, send letters, preemptively tell people how much that will mean to you, and, hopefully you get some great mail. And if you don't, that's okay. You're going to make it through recruit training. You're going to come out the other end. You're going to be badass. Who gives a Number 6 here is handle your bills. Now, a huge part of this is the Service Member Civil Relief Act, which is the SCRA. Your recruiter should give you some paperwork for this when you swear in at the delayed entry program at MEPS. And this will allow you a couple of things. You can use this with your date for boot camp to pause any and all subscriptions, right? Like your phone bill, Netflix. You can even, in some cases, and I don't want to say this is everyone, but I seem to recall that this is the main, like for everyone, you could do like a 3-month pause on car payments. And it's not like they erase your car payment. It's just they say, hey, instead of your, like if you had 60 months worth of car payments and it ended in May of 2028, they'll move it to June, July, August of 2028, and they'll just give you a 3-month gap in payments because they know you're at recruit training and they don't want you to have, most places for deployments and or like recruit training will pause your payments, insurance, all the stuff while you're at recruit training, which means that the money you make at recruit training, you can save towards beginning your emergency fund and your financial setup instead of having to worry about missing payments. Now, if they won't do that, make sure you set up automated payments, know the account that all the money's coming from, and either have the funds in there for everything or have all that account information so that when you get to recruit training, you can ensure that you fund that account while you're at recruit training, because you don't want to be missing payments coming out of boot camp and default on stuff. That's just not a good look, not good for your credit. The Service Member Civil Relief Act will reduce interest rates on debt that you had prior to the service down to, unless it's changed, 6%. And so talk to your recruiter to get that paperwork so you can reduce interest rates on existing debt, pause payments, and make sure that you have all that information set up and your account information set up so that you're taken care of at recruit training. You don't have to come out of it and be like, oh, I default. The worst, like the last thing you want is at recruit training to get some default notice handed to you by a drill instructor and have to go figure it out, right? I've seen that happen. This isn't just some dumb self-help book. This is everything I wish I'd known when I first joined the military. So scan the code, click the link in the description, download it for free today, and get yourself on the right path. Number 7 here, I would say, is simplify your life. So cancel all the memberships and subscriptions around your local town that you're not going back to. If you have a gym membership, get rid of it. If you have Netflix subscription that you don't need right now, get rid of it. If you're not on your mom's Netflix subscription, ask your mom if you can get on their subscription, right? Like any of these bills that you just don't absolutely need, like your life's going to change. You can always sign back up for that stuff later, and you can ask the company like, hey, I'm going to recruit training. Can you grandfather in my payment once I'm done if they're unwilling to just like pause it? Because sometimes, payments go up and they grandfather you in on it. But like your Netflix, your Prime, your gym membership, your local whatever membership. Just like cancel all those memberships, all those subscriptions, and just simplify your life. You don't need all that crap. One caveat I would say to the phone bill thing is, I have heard that at a lot of branches of service now, you can use your phone for 10 to 20 minutes during recruit training. And so you're going to want to talk to your recruiter about that, like every like Sunday. Like I know the Army lets people call for like 20 minutes every Sunday. So like talk to your recruiter to confirm that, talk to your phone service company to confirm that, and find an easy medium win there. Because if you really want to use your phone during that time, you probably don't want to completely pause your service. But, you know, that's up to you. I don't think paying $120, $150 a month towards a phone bill when you could use it for 20 minutes once a week is necessarily worth it, but, you know, you do you. Number 8, shameless plug, read the No BS Guide to Military Life. I will drop a QR code right here, or I'll have my editor drop a QR code right there where you can download the PDF copy for free. You can also, there'll be a link down below in the description. If you go to FromMilitaryToMillionaire.com/book, it'll show you where to get the Audible version or the hard copy or softback on Amazon. I would encourage you to read that. If you can read the PDF, get it for free. If you prefer listening, download it on Audible. If you prefer like physical copy book, go buy it on Amazon. Unfortunately, I can't just give that away because of the cost. And read that. It is everything that I wish I'd known about the military and finance and navigating like that whole change in life when I first joined the service. So take some time, invest in yourself, read the book. It's an easy read. It was written by me, a freaking Marine, and it's going to help you set yourself up for success in recruit training and beyond so that you can live an easier life. Number 9, and this ties right into the book, have a plan for your thrift savings plan. So at least read the first chapter thrift savings plan, okay? I wrote this book chronologically for things I thought would be the best use for you while serving. So read that chapter on the thrift savings plan so that you understand the basics of how to use your TSP, how to set it up, whether you should contribute your money to a Roth or traditional, what fund you want it to go into, and set that up correctly from the get-go, because the money you contribute in there, A, you should contribute in there, and B, the money you contribute in there, the earlier you contribute, the more valuable those dollars are because of how compounding interest works. So read that chapter before recruit training, if nothing else, so that you know how to set up your TSP. And if you're not going to read it, go watch my YouTube videos on how to set up your TSP and make sure you do that right, because you'll get asked like week 1 at recruit training how to set that up, and you should do it. Like if you know how to do it, you'll set yourself up for success better than if you have to wait 3-4 months to learn how to do it. Number 10, spend time with your friends and family. This one gets overlooked. Look, a lot of your friends from like high school, you're going to just fall off with after recruit training. I'm going to be honest. I knew a ton of people in my town. There are only a few friends that I had in high school that I am still really close with. The friends from the military replaced a lot of them over time because of the connection and bond that we have in service that you can't get anywhere else. That said, spend time with your family because they will still be there, right? I'm not saying you should neglect a loved one like a significant other, but if it's like a brand new relationship, don't like negate your family for that, because that may not last, right? So spend time with the people that are lasting, relationships, and just create those memories with them, because it may be a little while before you get to see them, depending on what's going on in the world and deployments and all this other stuff, and training and MOS school and everything else. Spend time with the people that matter to you and mean something to you, because those relationships are going to last for a while. And I'll tell you, like, as the older me is saying, boy, I should have invested a little bit differently in the people I was hanging out with right before I went to recruit training, because the people that I was spending my time with aren't the people that I talk to anymore, right? And so spend time with friends and family, really close friends, obviously your family, assuming, just spend time with people that matter to you and create those memories, because it is going to be tough when you go away. So like, invest in those relationships beforehand. Number 11, mentally prepare, right? Recruit training is definitely physical. It's a lot of things, but it is more in your head. It's a game, right? I've got videos kind of on how this works, but like, just know that at recruit training, everything is timed, everything is planned. The drill instructor's job is to get your head, they break you down, build you back up. Like the whole thing is planned, scripted. They've been doing this for decades, right? If not centuries. You're going to get tired. You're going to get yelled at. You're going to question your decision to join at some point. You're going to be upset. You'll probably cry. I cried at recruit training, if nothing else, when I earned my Eagle Globe and Anchor, which, by the way, for those who are going Marine, this is my original Eagle Globe and Anchor. I cried when this thing was handed to me on the parade deck at MCRD San Diego after coming off the Crucible, coming off the Reaper hike, If you're going Marine Corps, you know what I'm talking about. And they hand you this, and in the background on the parade deck is playing Proud to Be an American. And like to this day, when I hear that song, I get a little teary-eyed, right? So you're going to cry at some point in recruit training, almost guarantee it, right? Just mentally prepare. Look, boot camp's not there to break you. It's there to transform you. It's going to have its ups and downs, but you're going to be okay. At the end of the day, everybody gets nervous, gets afraid, gets whatever before shipping off to recruit training. That is the norm. It would be kind of weird if you weren't a little bit nervous about this huge change coming in your life. But I can tell you that on the other side of that fear is something worth having, worth achieving. Like, it's a good space to be. So go get it. Don't quit. Believe in yourself. Get yourself prepared. Watch this video. Do the things. Ship off. Freaking raise your hand. Swear in. And go make a difference in the world. And if you got something out of this video, make sure you subscribe. Share it with some other friends. Go share it with all of your poolees at your recruiting stations and say, hey, knuckleheads, just in case you don't want to listen to your recruiter, here's a useful video that will help you prepare. And maybe even share it with your recruiters so that they can share this video instead of having to do the same brief 100 million times, right? All that being said, share it with someone that'll help. Subscribe to the channel. I love you guys. Best of luck out there. And let me be the first to tell you, thank you for signing up to serve and defend our great nation. Your contribution matters. You matter.